NJZ's Danielle is gaining attention for speaking out about artists' rights during a recent live.
I wasn't actually, I wrote a lot of stuff down that, I was feeling because I just couldn't get to sleep. I don't know what, I never thought I was going to say all this. I didn't.
She shared that some things she experienced as a trainee didn't make sense, but she went along with them out of fear of not debuting.
Be talking to you guys like this about my past, because it takes a lot of courage for me to, really go into detail about that time. So,
wanting to get it off her chest, she opened up in hopes of helping young artists and trainees, emphasizing the importance of respect and dignity for those who may not have a voice. Here's what she said.
Okay, so back when I was a trainee, I was kind of ignorant of how I felt in a way. So there were times where deep down I knew something was wrong, but then I forced myself to believe that that was normal. I remember being so cautious of all the rules. I remember being so cautious not to break all these rules that you had as a trainee. And then I realized, looking back now, that a lot of these rules, there were all these rules, and then I realized afterwards that, a lot of these rules didn't have much meaning. And, for example, and these are just, little things, you had to leave, a message before you were able to go to the toilet. And this was even in free time. And, you were constantly being watched over when you were in the practice room. So you didn't have much freedom at all. I also actually remember, this is kind of weird, but I remember having to take pictures of what I ate before I was actually able to consume it. And I had to send them pictures to our manager, and she would have to check it. Anyway, there were lots of little things. The reason that we had to follow all these rules, this is how I felt. The reason that we had to follow all these rules was because otherwise we felt like we weren't going to be able to debut. We felt that they were just going to cut us if we didn't obey all these rules. And even now, sometimes I think I haven't gotten past that mindset in a way. I remember thinking, why would they use this kind of system when in fact it deprives us of creativity? It could be just because it's been passed down through the industry. And it also could be just because the people in control at that stage wanted it to be easier to take control. Only after, having all these deep conversations with my mum was I able to realize the situation and understand what that time actually, how much of an effect it had on me, really. That time that I spent in such a confined environment, that I slowly grew ignorant of my emotions. What I felt, my surroundings and my lifestyle was subconsciously telling me was, no, you can't express yourself. No, this isn't what they want. And if you were to do this, you may not be able to debut. And it felt like my identity was constantly being violated. And I don't know how I went through that at that time. It just looking back now, I could never go through that again, because now I know how much that changed me. Even at school, I remember I was a perfectionist. But I never had these boundaries these boundaries of how I should portray myself, and never did I have a voice in my head telling me, no, you can't say this, no, you can't do that. There are trainees nowadays, starting at even a younger age. And I feel like I'm definitely not saying that all the trainees would be in this kind of situation. I'm just saying there could be trainees that, like me, constantly being held in a position where they are non-stop being compared and non-stop being ranked, and that's heartbreaking, and that worries me. What I want to say is, just because those trainees, those children, have a dream to one day like perform on stage and to be a performer, they shouldn't be treated like dolls. They shouldn't be treated like dolls. This is very weird for me to be expressing myself like this, but I just don't think trainees or artists should be experiencing even a remotely similar situation to what I went through at that stage, because it's, as I said, it's so heartbreaking. Because what if they don't have the voice to speak out? Or what if they don't have the support that they need and they deserve as a performer? Yeah. So, for me, I guess, although it may take a lot of time, it may take my whole life regaining that side of me, I think I'm strong enough now to start trying. And a lot of that strength came from you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so, so much. Sincerely. Okay, what I want to say lastly, on behalf of those trainees and young artists out there that might not have the voice to speak out, please, people should be treated as people, and every individual deserves respect and dignity. Every individual deserves respect and dignity. Having experienced this firsthand, I know how hard it is to take courage and to speak out. So I guess that's kind of why I reached out to you guys.